Hello everyone. In this session, let us discuss the behavior of an inductive circuit. Consider an AC voltage source connected to an inductor. Let the voltage of the AC voltage source be represented as Vm sin omega t, and let the inductor have an inductance of L. So now let us find or derive the expression for current. We know in an inductor, V is equal to L times di divided by dt. And it is known that the voltage is Vm sin omega t, and we have an inductance of L. So substituting the value of V and cross multiplying, we have di by dt to be equal to Vm by L sin omega t. I want an expression for I, and hence I integrate both the sides of the equation. So it is integration of di over t Vm sin omega t divided by L over dt. So integrating I, we have I of t equal to Vm by L is a constant which is taken outside the integration sign, and we have integration of sine omega t as minus cos omega t divided by omega. And further simplifying, we'll have the expression as minus Vm divided by omega L cos omega t. So now let me write the equations. So it is seen that V of t is Vm sin omega t, and I of t is Vm divided by omega L cos omega t minus, or I of t could be written as Vm divided by omega L sine of omega t minus pi by 2. So now let me trace the waveform. So V of t is a sinusoidal wave with a magnitude Vm. This is V of t. Now let me trace cos omega t first. So cos omega t is going to be, it's going to take a maximum value at 90 degree, it's going to be 0. And then, so this is going to be the cosine waveform. Okay, whereas here we have minus cos omega t, right? So as we have minus cos omega t, now we are going to draw the inverse of it or the ulta of it. So it's going to be, so for 0, the value is going to be negative maximum, and then a 0. This is the waveform of current of a purely inductive circuit. And if we could see here, okay, so here we write sine waveform as sine omega t minus pi by 2, because your sine waveform starts after crossing an angle pi by 2. So after an angle, it is minus pi by 2. And it is seen that here, this has a maximum amplitude of, so the maximum amplitude of current, if it is represented as Im, we write the equation as Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. And this maximum amplitude Im is equal to Vm divided by omega L. And we know the units, we know current is in ampere, and the unit of voltage is volt, and voltage divided by ohm will give us the value of current in ampere, and hence omega L has an unit ohm, and omega L is known as the inductive reactance, and it is represented as XL. And now let us calculate or derive an expression for power. So instantaneous power P of t is equal to V of t into I of t. Instantaneous power, now we substitute the values of V of t as Vm sine omega t and I of t as Im cos omega t, and we have a minus in front of. So it is minus, instead of Vm divided by omega L, I write it as Im. So it is minus Im cos omega t. And now after substitution, let us go for the simplification. It is Vm Im sine omega t cos omega t. So sine omega t cos omega t is equal to sine 2 omega t divided by 2. So the expression goes as minus Vrms Irms sine 2 omega t. Now let us trace this waveform. Within a period where my voltage waveform completes one complete cycle, the power waveform is going to complete 2 cycles. Okay, so, and the waveform is going to be minus sine. So it is going to be the ulta of what we see here. So sine waveform minus sine. So this is going to be minus sine, but now let us see where it starts. Okay, so when we trace the power waveform, so let us split this into portions. So wherever your graph or waveform crosses the axis, just drop a line. Okay, and now let us discuss in detail. In this portion, current is negative, whereas voltage is positive. So current is negative, voltage is positive, so the net value is going to be a negative value. Product is going to be negative. And in this portion, voltage is positive, current is also positive. So here you have positive value. And then in this region, you have your voltage to be negative and current to be positive. So here again it is, negative. Here we have the voltage to be negative, current to be positive. So minus into plus is minus. Okay, so now I write the sign of the power waveform. Okay, so here again, if you could see, current is negative, voltage is also negative in this section, and hence the power is going to be positive. And we know the power is going to take a pattern of a sign, right? Negative sign. And it is said within 1/2 of the cycle. So this is 1/2. This is 1/2 of the cycle. Between 1/2 of a cycle, we have one complete cycle being covered for power. Okay, so this is 1/2 of the cycle. So let us trace now. So it is going to be a negative sinusoidal waveform. So here it's going to be negative. Okay, so the value of power is going to be greater than the value of voltage. And then it's positive here. And then again negative. positive so this is the plot of power, instantaneous power P of t. Now let us calculate the value of average power over the cycle. Okay. So one complete cycle is completed within a time period. So if this is 0, this point is going to be pi. Right? So one cycle for powers waveform is completed in pi radians. And hence we write average power P is equal to integral of 0 to pi P of t d omega t divided by pi. Now substitute the value of P of t. So P of t is Vm Im divided by 2 sine 2 omega t d omega t, the whole divided by pi. That could be written as Vm Im divided by 2 pi integral of sine 2 omega t d omega t from 0 to pi. And we know integration of sine 2 omega t is minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2. And applying the limits, upper and lower limits, pi and 0. Applying the limits, we have cos 2 pi divided by 2 minus cos 0. We already have a minus sign, sorry. So it is minus cos 0 divided by 2 minus Vm is now becoming plus 2 pi. And we know cos 2 pi is 0. Sorry, cos 2 pi is 1. And we know cos 2 pi is 1. Cos 0 is also 1. So 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, and hence it is 0. That is average power that in a pure inductor is 0. Average power in a inductor is 0 indicates that no work is done, no useful conversion of energy is done in an inductor. Instead, whatever energy we feed is being saved in an inductor. And now let me draw the phasor diagram. So these are the expressions of voltage and current. Converting them to phasors, we'll have V is equal to Vm divided by root 2, where I convert it into RMS value. And here it is. So instead of Vm divided by XL, I write it as Im. And current phasor I is equal to Im divided by root 2. Now let's trace the phasors. So here we have our reference. And we take V along the reference. And I, current phasor, makes an angle minus pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 in the sense we have to measure in the clockwise direction. Negative angle should be measured in the clockwise direction. and you have to measure 90 degree, right? So this is I, the current phasor. It could be inferred from the phasor diagram that voltage leads current by an angle 90 degree, or it could be stated that current lags voltage by 90 degree. And based on our previous discussions, it could be said that average power is zero. That is, all the energy that is fed from the source to an inductor is stored in form of an energy, stored as energy. And during derivation, we derived the XL to be equal to omega L, where omega is equal to 2 pi F into L. So let us see the variation of XL with respect to frequency. L could be written as 2 pi L into F. So if we make this as the Y and this as X, so it is of form Y is equal to mx, which is a straight line passing through the origin. So taking frequency along the x-axis and plotting the reactance value, inductive reactance value along the y-axis, we get a straight line. And this shows the variation of XL with respect to frequency, and the variation is said to be linear.